Evening, boys.
Evening, Sally.
Welcome to The Chatting, your local pubcast. I'm Rob.
I'm Kirk.
I'm Mark.
And I'm the other Mark. 3 pints, Sally. And what are you having?
Oh, an Aperol Spritz.
Cheers. I'll fetch him over.
Evening, chaps.
Evening, Rob.
Evening, Rob.
How are we doing? All right?
Good week?
Yeah, good. Yeah. Yourself?
Yeah, good, mate, yeah. You?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to apologise. There is a very high likelihood that you three are gonna walk out of here or wake up tomorrow with a cold. So I don't want any sympathy or anything like that. But
You won't get any.
It's on. I know it's on the way out now. But yeah, I don't know where it's come from, and I feel. Well, I have felt wretched.
Yeah, you sound totally fine, mate.
Well, I am feeling a bit better, but I'll tell you something. I've hardly done anything this last week because of it. Even to the point on Sunday morning, and I don't even know why, because it's not something I would normally do. We had an early night Saturday because we were under weather and whatever. Sunday morning, laid in bed, flicking through telly box for something to watch, and there were a film, and somebody had mentioned. In fact, it was Vicky Rackham. She mentioned this film, and it's called The Beekeeper, right? And it's starring Jason Statham, right?
I've not seen it, but I've seen I've seen it. It looks funny.
Honestly, it's crap because
is it a comedy?
Well, no. But
Not meant to be.
Not meant to be. No, but
Okay.
when you look at it and you go, oh, it's a bit stupid, isn't it? He's like one bloke taking on an army,
Of wasps.
Well, he's a beekeeper.
No bees.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
okay.
but
Keep up, man. Keep up.
He's a beekeeper, but his hidden past is that he used to work for a government agency called the Beekeepers, and they look after the hive. And anyway, it's quite the storyline's actually quite good, the basis of it, but it obviously. Being the sort of film that it is, one bloke will never get shot, even though there's 20,000 bullets coming at him. One of them from a Gatling gun off back of a pickup truck, and not one of and they even referenced it in film and said it fires something like 100 rounds a second. Not one hit him.
No.
Anyway, and basically it's about. I don't want to get too serious.
I'm going to say, I've got a feeling this isn't going to be a basically.
No, when Marcus was explaining, we're going all the way to the credits. It starts off. Obviously, he's keeping.
I thought we'd started.
He's keeping bees, and you see him. He's ringing out the what is it called? The trays that they pull out of the hives. He's like ringing them out if you can get all the honey out of it.
Yeah.
And he takes it round to this woman, and it turns out that he rents this garage thing that he's using off this old woman, and she's a I don't want to say do-gooder because that sounds quite condescending, but she does work for charity and stuff. What are you laughing at?
I can't wait to see this film. It sounds amazing.
Scene 2, he's walking across the field.
Anyway, so it gives her this, and obviously she's not got anybody around her, and he's not got anybody around him. She's quite a bit older. It's not romantic in any way, but he obviously looks after her.
Goodness me, Mark, come on.
How much better this film are we going into?
What's
she called?
I'm going to cut to the chase. I forgot what she's called. I'm going to cut to the chase. Anyway, it turns out that she manages a lot of bank accounts, and one of them is for this children's charity, and there's $2 million in this bank account. Anyway, there's these hackers, and they're ringing people up, and it's a bit stupid because he's like on a game show sort of thing in front of all these people in call centre, and they like saying, oh yeah, we're going to get this woman, we're going to get all the money. Anyway, they end up rinsing her bank accounts, and then she shoots herself. Oh. Yeah, so obviously he's like, right then, get ready. Turns out her daughter's in FBI. She's on chase for him because he's killing people, even though he shouldn't be doing it. But then she lets him go at the end. I'm going to ruin it. She lets him go at the end because he's done what he should have done really. But
and then what happened?
He kills all the hackers.
And then what happened?
Then it goes off.
I'm joking. I don't think we need to know anymore. What we've already
anyway,
heard.
so
we don't need to watch it now.
No, but if anyone does, there's a watch
I'm
for this
confused by
weekend.
it. So what's bees got to do with it?
So he keeps.
No, set him off again.
Watch the film to find out.
Mark is fine. I'll
Watch the
Google
film
it.
to find
I'll watch
out.
it tomorrow.
Listen, we've had another voice note.
Thank God for that.
It's
not for Mark, is it?
They're coming thick and fast. Honestly, can't keep up.
Great
so
stuff.
it's from Clare, and the voice note goes like this.
Hi guys, Claire here. I'm absolutely loving the podcast and I'm hoping you could settle an argument for me. So, when we go shopping, my boyfriend will always park as far away from the entrance as humanly possible, allegedly for easier parking. But he'll do this even if it's the middle of the night, the car park's totally empty, and there's loads of spaces. Whereas I will park close to the entrance like a normal person. It drives me up the wall, and we argue about it all the time because I hate walking all the way through a pitch black car park in the freezing cold and pouring rain, which it always is because I live in Scotland, carrying all of my shopping. He says it's a guy thing. I say I'm just better at parking than he is. Who's right?
Well, thanks, Claire, for the question.
Well, I hate to break it to you, Claire, but it sounds to me very much like your fella just doesn't want to go shopping.
Let's park as far
He's
away
making
as
it as
possible.
awkward as possible on every visit so that you go, do you know what? You're not coming next time.
It's a very good point, that, actually, Mark.
Yeah.
What I don't...
And also, he's making her carry all shopping. Yeah. So what's point in him going?
It's very true. What I don't get is I understand parking far away or as far away as you can if you've got a really nice car. Now, I just need to back this up because the email that is attached to it does say, if it has any bearing on your answer, I drive a Yaris and he drives a Hyundai. So neither of us have particularly fancy cars.
And that's the answer. They're hiding the cars, aren't they? They don't want to be seen in the cars, getting out of that car. They want to make sure that there's nobody watching them get out of the car.
Well, that's kind of where I was coming from, in that if you've got a really expensive car, or, you know, that's nothing to say that they don't love the cars that they've got, but if you've got a high-end car and you think, I do not want anyone opening the car door on this, scratching it or anything, I'm going to park right out the way. But said given cars, I mean, it might actually be a top-of-the-range Hyundai, in all fairness. The Yaris, do they have top-of-the-range Yarises?
just one spec in it.
Yeah, I think so.
Go and stop.
If they go in the Yaris, then I'd be a bit like, park as close as you need to, you know, given whatever the Hyundai
If you go in a
is.
Yaris,
maybe.
you could park it in a trolley bay.
Absolutely, wouldn't it fit?
And you do see pictures like
Park it
that
in
on
them,
Facebook, don't
those
you?
bus shelter things that they have at middle at car park
Yeah.
where they park up trolleys. You just park your car in there.
Did I pick up in her message that she said that he parks furthest away when it's really busy, which I sometimes get, because if it's busy, you go, you know what, I'm going to cut my losses, I'll just park over it out of way.
Well,
but then she said, even when it's not busy.
Yeah, that's what she said.
So I'm like,
at
what's
any
all that
time,
about?
even the middle of the night, he's parking the furthest away.
What's all that about? I don't get that.
I don't get it.
I think we
We've
could
got a
do
parking
it,
expert,
well,
Kirky.
we could do it a bit more context, because I suppose the question that I want to ask back is, would you still do it if the car park was empty?
Well, that's
All right?
what I think
there's-
she said, isn't it?
No, there's a difference between middle of the night and the car park being quiet,
And dark.
whatever, and the car park being empty. Because for me, if the car park is completely empty, you can have your choice of car parking spaces and you choose to park in the furthest one away, then in the nicest possible way, there's something wrong with you. that Claire might need to run.
And exactly on that point, because it sounds to me like she's got a Glaswegian accent. So
she's got
you're
to-
getting out of the car and going to shops and back. You are running in between, aren't you? You're not strolling around. You're not strolling around Glasgow, are
You're
you?
not taking your time. But on the flip side to that, if it is a case of, well, yes, the car park's quieter, but I still don't want the hassle of having to find a parking space or parking between another couple of cars or whatever, then I can kind of see where they're coming from, because
When you said they, her boyfriend.
well, the boyfriend, because I'm a creature of habit. I like creature of habit. So let me ask you this, guys, right? Is there anywhere like at work or whatever, mind you two work from home or whatever, Rob, maybe you, if you go to
I don't work from home.
the same toilet, as in like public toilets, often,
Yeah.
do you not have a favourite urinal that you go to?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So you can have a row of
Well,
urinals.
do you like caress it and that while you're having a wee?
I'm going to say, maybe having a
Favourite.
favourite is
But the
is
one that
wrong.
you'd go to,
Yeah.
the same one you'd go to if
Yeah.
you walked into them toilets.
Yeah, the one I like to water on most occasions.
The
Yeah.
what-
You mean a routine, like as in
So
you
like
go
if-
in and...
Yeah, so if you walked into the toilet and
Yeah.
every single urinal was empty, I'd go to the same one every time.
Yeah, and just
Yeah,
for
the nearest.
clarification.
No, not at all.
Not the nearest.
No.
And just for clarification, if I walked into a toilet and there was 5 urinals and someone was using my urinal,
Would you wait?
No.
Standing with your arms
Just go
forward,
to the other one.
watching a bloke having
Yeah,
a
yeah,
wee.
don't mind me,
waiting
I'm just
his-
queuing
don't
for
mind
that
me,
one.
yeah.
I like that one. I like watering that one.
Excuse me, can you wipe it when
Yeah.
you finish, please? Because I'm using.
Yeah,
that
so
after
what were you going to say then, Rob? Or was that it? You said, if somebody's in that urinal, then
Yeah,
what-
that was it. That's what I was going to say. If someone was in that one, I wouldn't wait. I'd go to another one.
Would you go to the one next to him though? Because it's near your favourite.
No.
No.
No,
No,
I
I
wouldn't go
wouldn't.
that far.
No.
I wouldn't.
But that's what I'm saying. We're creatures of comfort or creatures of habit. You know, how many times do you go to, let's say, a 2-day training event? Training event, sometimes these things that work do, Mark. I'm just...
Yeah,
you
I
know,
used to do that back in my
nowadays.
back in my Abbey National days.
And you might go to a 2-day one, and you go in on day one. Bear in mind, you can sit wherever you want. Yeah, there's a selection of chairs, a selection of tables, and you will go and sit in a chair. And then the next day,
go to the
fundamentally, you could go to any other chair you wanted to, but you'd go back to the same one.
Well, usually my little names
They don't do that anymore, Mark.
on the
Mark
thing.
waits while music stops, then he gets up and changes seats. He's like, oh, I love this. It's like being at work.
Bringing it back to what we were talking about, car parks. So that's exactly the same as Meadowhall, which is, for those of you listening that aren't local, Meadowhall is a large shopping centre near us. Do you not park in the same car park?
Same car park, yeah.
Every
No.
time. Don't you?
We actually, interestingly, the other day went to Meadowhall and I tried to get into the underpass because it were raining. So everyone's, and it were packed, obviously. So I thought, sod it, I'll go and park on top somewhere. And it's the only time. So I went up, parked, and it's the only time I've ever been in this car park.
On what? Upstairs?
Upstairs, this particular one.
Yeah.
And we were miles away from any. The entrance that was there for it.
I know exactly where
Was
you parked.
shut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's where Debenhams used to be.
Is it?
So that used to be my car parking space. That used to be my car parking.
But the thing is, that car park were almost packed.
Yeah, wow.
Anyway, you had to go down
Because they
some.
think
You had to go down a
Debenhams are still
stairwell,
open.
underpass, across the road bit where they come in, then St Mark's. And I was like, this is ridiculous.
It is
It's
a
true.
walkaway because they've closed Debenhams, so you can't get in. But
Yeah.
what I'm saying is we are creatures of comfort.
Yeah.
So if he's driving, then and that's where he likes to park, then I get it. I do get it. Whether it's 2:00 in the morning or whether it's 9:00 in the morning, whatever it is,
Yeah,
I
but-
get where if that's where he likes to park. And I will also back it up with going back to what we were saying about the driving situation. Claire, you sound absolutely lovely, but if he's driving, he's driving. Shut your cake hole.
That's controversial.
He said
I sort of disagree because if the car park's empty, then I would park nearest to the front. Minus obviously the disabled and and the baby thing,
right.
but I would.
I've seen you walking with a
because that's
limp
what I
into
do
Morrison's.
almost. So I do almost every week when I go to Asda after work. Car park's empty. I park bank next to the door.
I'd like
Or
to see what
nearest
he's
to-
like on inside at supermarket with his trolley. Does he like avoid if there's like a person on that aisle? Does he go to the next aisle, wait till that aisle's become empty, then bring his trolley round and he's like rushing down once it goes empty?
I'll tell you what, though, I am the opposite to you. Well, no, I'm not the opposite to you, Kurt. That's
to
not
me,
right.
or to him,
You are.
to Kirk, to me.
I'm sorry, what?
You said I'm the opposite of you, and that.
Oh,
and I
no.
went me.
Sorry, Kirk. I'm the opposite of Kirk, in that when you say I'm driving, and I whinge about this. Obviously, present people in cars and whatnot. But I would struggle if I got someone next to me. If someone else was driving and they were going to park, and I'm thinking, are they about to park at the back of the car park? And I can visibly see car parking spaces that are near the front that aren't children or disabled spaces, obviously. Then I'd be saying, there's spaces over there. There are spaces over there.
Yeah, I'm not blind.
Yeah, but I would genuinely be like, is there a reason you're not parking in them? I would.
But there doesn't always have to be a reason. If that person wants to park wherever they want to park, then they're driving. They're in charge of the vehicle. They can park where they want.
There is a reason. It's not involuntary. They've not gone, oh, car's taking me this way. It's a conscious decision.
Yeah.
But this is what I'm saying. If that's because you're a creature of comfort and you like to park in a certain place,
Not
or
that
whatever,
comfortable walking through a car park at middle at night in
well, he
Glasgow.
steps in.
But at the same
In the
time,
rain or snow.
I get it. I do get it, because what you're saying is what I do. I think is
The
fair.
only-
Is whoever's driving is driving, right? But I'm going to side with Claire, and I think that if they can park closer, get closer.
I don't give a monkeys who I park next to in a car park. I'm not bothered. However, I do sometimes wonder, when you park up and you see the cars next to you, all the doors are all creased and stuff, and you think, am I going to come back to my car door being all battered and wet? Because they're obviously either not very good at parking or they, whatever.
So we've asked for people that asked for a dilemma. So what advice are we giving Claire then?
I'd leave him at home.
What chat?
I would. She's carrying shopping. She's doing all walking.
Yeah, but he's driving.
All he's doing is inhibiting her. He's saying, right, Claire, I know you want to go shopping, but I'm going to make it a little bit more difficult for you. I'd be saying, do you know what? You can stay at home.
Do you know what?
Perhaps that's what he's after.
I agree with you, Mark.
Yeah.
I mean, do we really think he'd put up a fight? I don't want you to come shopping. If that was said to me by Gemma, absolutely love that.
Shopping,
I
what's
will
that?
stay here. Yeah.
I don't know what a shop is.
That's
Off
about the
license,
only thing you
maybe.
do,
Oh,
yeah.
you what?
So that's the chatting advice for Claire then, is it? For her to go shopping on her own?
Go on your own.
I think so.
Go on your
And
own.
I'd take his car as well, and I'd park it as close as you can, squashed in, and then take a photo and send it him, show him that you're parked in between two other people.
Out of interest, do you park your car forward or do you reverse park?
Reverse.
Reverse.
Mainly reverse.
Yeah, I do.
It's
Yeah.
either reverse
But
park,
that's
or I
because-
do that thing that I think it really riles some people, because typically car parks, they've got a parking space behind a parking space. Drive through the first one into the one behind
Yeah.
it, and
Yeah.
then you're effectively in the same position you would be if you reverse around the other side.
Gemma calls that a pull through.
Yeah.
It's like some sort of gymnastics move. Are you doing a pull through? And I always look at her.
Are you doing a pull through? Why?
She says that to you every time then, do you, when you do it?
Yeah.
You are.
She says that to you every
Is it-
time.
oh,
You're doing a pull
genuinely,
through.
If she can see that there's an opportunity to go through, she'll go, are you doing a pull
And
through?
does she do
You're
it
doing
when
a
she's
pull
driving,
through.
or does she not?
Well, she don't question herself. But,
No, I didn't say.
if I'm
No.
driving.
I didn't say. Does she ask herself? When she's driving, does she do pull throughs, or does she
Jesus Christ, not a pull through. It's like pulling teeth. This.
Yeah, she does, yeah.
It is quite funny though, listening to Claire, that how
What are you saying that for? Because she's Glaswegian.
no, is how little things can annoy you in from
Oh.
your other halves and stuff
You
like
might be
that.
quite tall.
Yeah.
Or just in car parks in general.
What?
You just so you got lost there by Mark, didn't you? Remember?
I was trying to broaden the subject, Rob, and not just talk about car parks for an hour.
Oh no, I wasn't. I was just about to say that car parks are the most infuriating places in the world anyway. So
And bring it back to car parks.
well, yeah, because frankly, I'm not finished on bloody car parks.
Oh, carry on then, Rob.
Is this the car park? Episode?
Well, it is now.
Yeah.
It is now.
I'll tell you what got me thinking the other day. I was watching telly, and I've watched a bit of telly this last few days because I've not done
Yeah,
all
we know.
else, really.
Bees and all.
Yeah, beekeeping and whatever else. And there were a TV program, and loads of famous people on it. And if you work somewhere and you go into a business meeting, for example, or you might go to head office and you walk in and you're shaking hands, you're introducing yourself to everybody. Oh, hello, I'm Mark and I'm so and so, and and you don't know who people are and whatever.
Do you introduce yourself as different people to different people?
Yeah, it depends. depends if I'm under.
Hi, I'm Mark. Hi, I'm the other Mark.
Yeah, Mark, I'm so
Yeah. But
the other one.
what got me thinking is that we were at a chat show and there were like loads of famous people on it, and I thought, do you know when they all rock up somewhere like an award ceremony or on a chat show, and they all know everybody is because they're all famous. When they walk in, they go Brad Pitt walks in and he's never met him before, and he walks in and he goes, Tom Cruise, hey up, Tom, how you doing? And because he knows who he is.
Yeah.
And I wonder if when they have like famous people gatherings, like awards
Yeah.
and stuff, whether they all just walk in and they're all right, hey up, Brad, how you doing? Yeah, I'm all right. Hey up, George. All right, you still doing coffee, mate? Do you know what I mean? I wonder if it's like that, or whether they go, hi, I'm,
Well,
I'm
you're
George
going to
Lucas.
get some celebrities that don't know other celebrities. I mean, surely
Oh, I
that
wouldn't
must be
have
a
thought so. I don't know.
You do, because sometimes on chat on when they're talking to them, they'll go, "Oh, do you know so and so?" I don't mean the person that's on the episode with them, but they'll go, "I don't know who that is." It does happen occasionally.
I find it really funny when they do a celebrity version of something.
Yeah.
But it tends to be like D class or E listers or
yeah,
Z listers
Z-listers.
and
Yeah,
stuff like
that's
that.
exactly what I'm
I
talking
find
about.
that funny that somebody that probably sees themselves as quite a celebrity because they're on a celebrity thing, but yet they walk in and nobody else knows who they are.
It tends to be the younger generation, the older generation,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
somebody on like Big Brother.
Yeah, I was on Pop
know.
Stars The Rivals.
Yeah.
I came 7th.
Yeah.
Well, you normally see at the start of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, don't you? And they start, and you can see them all coming together, and they're looking at them as to go, I have got no
No
idea
idea.
who you are. Which these days on that programme, even we don't tend to know who they are most of the time.
Yeah, like them bloody influencer type people.
No,
I mean, what do they do?
don't get me on about influencers. I mean, just think about it. Just the title of what they are, influencers. I mean, do you want to feel as if you've been influenced by someone? I mean, I don't want to be influenced by anyone. Do you see what I'm saying?
I don't think I've ever really thought about the name,
mean,
but yeah, I get what you mean.
If you were talking to someone and they were talking about whatever, and then you walked away and you went, I think they've influenced me. You won't.
But that's what the definition of like what advertising's been doing for years.
Exactly. But do you not think that's a bad thing to be? I mean, if I were tagged as an influencer, that's like you influencing what they think and what they do and what they buy.
Yeah.
Sure, I don't want to be licensed. I don't want to be tagged with that influence.
You
let's
have a
face
lot
it.
of pent up anger, don't
Yeah, I
don't
do.
you, Mark?
But it's just, I don't want to be buying something because I've been influenced.
Yeah,
I
but
want to buy
ultimately, though,
something
You're
because
confusing somebody who's famous on TikTok with Darren Brown. You look into my eyes. You're going to buy this washing up liquid.
But what I mean is, influencers are there to get you to buy something or do something.
Yeah.
But surely you want to do something because that's what you want to do, not because you've been influenced by something.
Maybe that's the modern day thing that we used to say, oh, adverts are on, oh, influencers are on.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But they're just constantly everywhere.
Yeah, here's an advert, here's an influence.
I mean, I know adverts are there to influence you, but if adverts were called influencers or whatever, you'd go, well, I don't like this. This is a bit of it's a dirty title, I think. I don't like the title influencers.
Do you know what?
And they
I've got
annoy
to be
me
honest.
anyway. I mean, who were they? Trying to
That
get
is
me
a
to
bit
buy
of a
something.
bugbear of mine, is the fact that these days you've no idea you've no idea how sincere someone's been on
Oh.
social media when it's
Exactly.
when it's like
Well,
TikTok videos
I
and
didn't even
stuff.
go onto that rant, but
you,
yeah.
you just think, hold on, am I being sold something here, or are they being legitimate?
Well, let me
and
tell.
that annoys me a little bit.
Well, let me tell you this. I mean, these influencers. I mean, no end of them are getting fined and stuff on social media because they're doing all this perfume stuff and this hair stuff and all that, and they don't make it clear.
You're not
it's-
down for that air stuff, Mark, are you?
No, exactly. Well, it's gone wrong. I've lost it all. And of course, they don't make it clear it's an advert or they've been sponsored by them.
No.
So they end up getting fined. Then they do it again. Then they do it. They keep doing it because they get more money from.
Absolutely, and that's what I mean. It annoys
Oh, it
me.
just
that-
annoys-
that-
oh.
that the minute you don't genuinely
Anyway.
know whether it's an ad, an influence, or whether it's just actually someone being legitimate.
So I'm not bothered that people are doing that.
Oh, I am.
Well, no, because I mean it's a thing, isn't it? What bothers me is when there are so many kids now, and that's what they want. That's what they want as a career.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, what?
Yeah.
You know, and you know.
Yeah, I want to be a TikToker. I want to be an influencer.
Yeah,
I wanna
and it's
be-
a bit
Yeah,
fickle.
really?
And it's a bit, There's no substance to it, is there? Really, other than
No.
it's literally you get lucky and you can do really well. And chance of you doing very well is like winning lottery, I suppose. But yeah, that's
And what talent?
That's what does
what
my
talent
head
do
in.
they need?
That's what does my head in,
Zero.
is when kids look up to him as it being a really good.
I mean,
aim for a career.
I can't sit here and let you say that, Mark, because it's not. It does take a lot of work. Honestly,
It takes work.
a lot of work for
It
some of them.
takes work, but it don't take talent.
I
No.
completely disagree.
I disagree.
No.
It
Completely
does.
disagree. I
It-
completely disagree.
In what
with,
way?
With everything that you've just said for the past few minutes.
What-
Everything.
Well, tell me why.
All of us, or Mark?
Well,
Mark,
all
just
of
me.
you.
How all of us?
You can't. Well, you
tell-
can.
tell us why.
You
I
can
just-
if you
I
don't
just
mind
did.
being wrong.
Well, tell us why, Kirk.
Well, because, and look, I know we're getting on a bit, right? But you just sound like
Speak for
grumpy.
yourself.
You sound like grumpy old men that are not moving with the times.
we are
I'm,
grumpy old men.
I'm just said I don't like adverts. I don't know if someone's.
All right, Rob. Yeah, fine. I get that, and I get the fact that you're saying that you don't like adverts and stuff like that. But the whole thing about influencers and about TikTok and social media and stuff like that is the way of the world now, and it is wrong for us to sit here as 40-odd year, maybe a bit more than that.
I can hear you.
And say it and down cry it and almost point a finger and go, that's wrong, or that's fickle, or that's this other. If my child wants to turn around to me and say that they want to aspire to be an influencer, or they want to aspire to be a YouTuber or a streamer or whatever it is, why shouldn't I encourage that? Because that is the way of the world now, and it is a legitimate career, and it is a legitimate job. And I think it's absolutely wrong that we sit here and think to ourselves, oh, well, they should aspire to be something different. They should aspire to be, you know, a doctor or a lawyer or an accountant or
they should get
you know,
a proper
whatever
job.
it is, or they should get a proper job. Proper job.
Easy
Because
for
I'll
you
tell
to
you
say.
something now. You know, influencers, and I know, don't bother coming back at me and saying, well, there's only a few that really make it. Well, yeah, there's only a few actors that really make it, or there's only a few DJs that really make it, or there's only a few musicians that really make it. But we would be bad parents to turn around to them and say, and squash their dreams at 10 and 11-year-old. At the end of the day, some of these influencers or streamers or whatever they are making a hell of a lot more money than what we are sat around this table.
Absolutely.
For working a lot less hours in a lot of hours, certainly a lot less responsibility. The work that goes into a lot of the stuff, whether it's the filming of it, the editing it, the vision of it, understanding what's in trend, understanding what will get views and what will get likes, marketing, there is so much. It's not just about some woman sat in a kitchen selling farts in a jar.
Well,
right?
Well, hang on a minute. Yes, it is.
Yes,
And
it
there's a
is.
woman who goes round supermarkets, effing and jeffing, and whatever
Yeah, but
supermarket
they're
is
the
about toilet rolls.
They're the minority.
Right.
Yeah, well, that's what the majority I'm talking about. I'm not talking about you top people at the top, like you're comparing them to like actors and stuff. Like you said, like some actors make it, some don't. You're right, but not all TikTokers. Most TikTokers or influencers don't make it.
Absolutely.
And they're the ones I'm moaning about that
this-
has no talent. It
this-
was just going, buy this. Like, there's no talent. I don't want to watch that. I don't want to listen to it.
My issue is, and I've got no qualms at all, and you're on completely the wrong page. I've got no qualms at all with kids aspiring to do something with media, creative, whatever it is, the arts. Go for it, but you've got to have a backup. Well,
Why?
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 Yeah, genuinely, I do agree with why. I do agree with that.
Why?
Because the likelihood of you being successful
Yeah.
is very small.
Yeah, but
So
Right.
you can't put all your eggs in one basket.
Why not?
Well, let
I'm
me.
sorry, but there's a lot. Sorry, Mark. Just give me a second because I'm on
Okay.
one, right?
All right, okay.
Go for it. Right? I'm on one, right? There's a lot of successful people out there
Yeah.
that would say that you won't be as successful as you want to be if you're
Yeah.
off thinking that you're going to fail.
All right.
Yeah.
Some of the biggest rock stars in the world have got degrees
Absolutely.
in law.
And some of them haven't.
I still agree with Mark. You do in life. You need backup for anything. I mean, Rob. Rob. When you wanted to be successful actor and all this lot.
Yeah.
I mean, did you have a backup plan in the back of your head?
No, mate.
Okay.
Right, listen, there's a conversation here that I had with my careers advisor at school that said, what's your backup plan? And I said, I'm going to be an actor. She went, yeah, but what's your backup plan? And I said, I'm going to be an actor. And this conversation went on for about 5 minutes. She said, I don't think... Basically, that was the meeting done. And do you know what? All right, you could all sit here now and go, and what do you do for a living, Rob? And I go, oh, I'm an electrician. But I spent 10 years doing that. And I did, and I got a lot, and I've got some amazing experiences from it. Now, if I'd have said at that point, well, okay, I'll go to college and I'll study and do whatever, it doesn't matter what, something that wasn't acting, I wouldn't have had any of those experiences that I did have, and I wouldn't be the person that I am now, and I wouldn't be able to do a lot of the stuff that I am doing now outside of work that I want to be possibly my main job. And you never give up on that dream. And I'm totally behind Kirk. That's why when Kirk said all of you, I was a bit like, hold on a minute, you ain't gonna get me joining any argument about content creation. The word I don't like is influence, because if someone said to me,
I don't like it.
someone that creates YouTube videos that puts hours and hours of time into everything that Kirk just said, from script writing to filming to it's so much work.
I prefer him to be called a creator.
Yeah, well,
But I just don't like the word
Yeah,
influence.
but we create influencers. They don't create themselves.
No.
We create influencers. By us following by us I mean, society. By us following somebody, liking it, following their channels, following their whatever they're doing, then gets them a following, which then makes them an influencer.
Yeah.
So it's not them turning around and going, right, I've got, no followers, no nothing, and all these brands are going to come to me and get me to sell their stuff because they've got nothing to sell it. They've got no one to sell it to. We create the influencers. Now, I agree with the fact that it doesn't necessarily make them celebrities, right? Or how we view them or how we view celebrities and stuff. But it really, really does wind me up when people seem to see it as that it's there's no talent or there's no. Yes, of course, there's a minority.
Largely
of people.
there isn't.
No.
Largely there isn't.
I don't know what basis your argument is
I'm
on.
going to say, I think
you can go through Facebook and there's stuff on there and Instagram. There's thousands and thousands of them that's got no talent. They just do all they're trying to do is promote.
I'm not
crap.
going to argue that there are kids out there making millions of pounds at 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old for opening toys on the internet, and people are paying. Manufacturers are paying them to do it.
Yeah.
And because they've got a massive audience. I'm not contesting that for a second. What I'm saying is the likelihood of that occurring, it's like winning lottery. We're talking about a television, if you like, with an infinite number of channels, and you're hoping to get 1 million views. Infinite number of channels.
But what you're talking about is you're taking one example. You're taking one example of like kids opening boxes and saying and saying the chances of that happening. Okay, but what I'm talking about is content creation in general. So whether that is opening boxes, whether it's what's it called, AMSR, the sound effects, ASR, whatever it is, whether it's TikTok.
that everybody's talking. What this is, and this is where I'm going to come back in. That's what I'm talking about. Everyone jumps on it. And then everyone jumps on the next thing. Then everyone and it's everyone's flocking to the, it's.
I think the difference. I think the thing is for me is that it depends whether what the reason people are doing it for. Are they doing it to make money, or are they doing it because they've got a skill and a talent at something, and they want to pursue that talent?
And I agree with that.
thing. Now, when you talk about kids.
It's too idealistic.
Well, no, hold on a minute. Hold on 1 second. When you talk about
all
kids,
idealistic.
if I had kids, I had a child at 8-year-old, 9-year-old that said to me, I want to be a content creator. I would say, brilliant. Where are we starting? How do we do it? Mm-hmm. What are you doing about it? Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. But one day I'm going to be a content creator. No. What are you doing about it? Do you need a camera? What, you're right. Now, if in 2 years' time I'd seen nothing, then I'd be saying, this content creation thing, how's it going for you? Is it still your dream? Well, I'm sorry, but I'm not buying into it if you're not going to do anything about it.
And I completely 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
But I would take the same approach no matter what they wanted to be.
Yeah, I agree.
So if they turned around to me and said, right, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a surgeon, I want to be this, that, other, then it's a case of, right, well, these are the steps you need to take. These are the way, how you need to be doing in your schoolwork. This is how you need to be doing in your exams. This is how you need to be doing this, that, other. But what I'm saying is, if my son or daughter came to me and said, I want to be a surgeon, I want to be a world-class brain surgeon, yeah, my answer will not be, and what's your backup?
Yeah, no.
So why should it be if somebody turned around to me and said, I want to be a content creator?
It's the thing-
First of all, you need qualifications to be a surgeon. You'd study. You can't go to college and study influencing, really.
Yeah,
you're just doing it. You're just doing it at
behind
home.
it and the motive. It's the thinking behind it. It's sitting in front of a webcam and saying, right, I'm going to make money doing this, and there's no substance. They just see the next person doing it.
But so what?
And there's millions of people.
What are we going to work for? What do you got to work for?
Well,
what do you got to work for?
To get paid.
To get paid?
Yes.
That's it.
But I'm guaranteed to get paid when I go to work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying
I'm not
is,
just stood outside saying, right, I'm going to be a manager of hopefully something.
Yeah.
If somebody comes past me and makes me a manager of them.
we're talking about an industry that already exists. We're not talking about plucking something out of thin air. At the end of the day, we work for money. That's it. That's what we work for. Yes, we can go down the path of, well, work and you love to do it or whatever, and that's absolutely great. But you work to earn money. Right? So what is wrong with going, well, do you know what? Someone's going to pay me for opening boxes online. Or somebody's going to pay me to this. And the thing is you're looking at it through, I'm really sorry because you're going to jump down my throat when I say it, but you're looking at it through a very old-fashioned lens.
No, I agree.
Of it's not a proper job. It's not a proper job, or the chances of it happening are so slim and stuff like that. Well, I'm sorry, but
it is.
But if my child came to, I bet there's more chance nowadays of somebody being a successful content creator. And I'm not talking about a multi-millionaire. I'm talking about just a successful content creator than there is going and working in retail or whatever and knowing that in 15 years' time your shop's going to get closed down, or going and being, working in hospitality and realising that one day you're just going to lose your job because it's not making enough money, or whatever it is. There are no secure absolutely 100% secure, maybe an hairdresser, of a secure job that is
Undertakers.
forever. Yeah, undertakers. There's always money in death.
Always undertakers.
And it does. It's something that I feel very, very passionate about. And I know I've got on my soapbox, and I'm sorry, but at the end of the day,
Are you going to be an influencer? Is this what you're asking?
well, listen. I wish I could. I wish I had.
You've got the talent.
I wish I had the confidence to do it. Because that's what it comes down to. It comes down to confidence, or it comes down to maybe new ideas, or maybe something that hasn't been done yet. Whatever it is. But what I'm saying is just because somebody is online, whether it's YouTube, whether it's TikTok, or whatever it is, if somebody is on there and they are doing something that they enjoy and they are making money out of it and making a living out of it, then who are we or anybody else to turn around and say to them, it's not proper, or it's not a proper job?
Hang on. Who said that?
Or shouldn't encourage people to do it if that's what they want to do.
I can honestly say, genuinely, if you asked me if I could have, how do I word this? What do I wish I knew 20 years ago that I know now?
Didn't we do that in a previous episode?
Yeah. Would you rather go backwards in time?
But that's
exactly.
the same thing that everybody would say, and everyone would jump on the same bandwagon and end up in the same position that we are now.
Well,
You'd just
I
be in
don't-
the same race with all the same...
Yeah.
But perhaps more people, because you'd have more people thinking, well, this is going to work going forward. All the people that naturally made it work because they were, they were lucky or whatever.
Well,
And you're just
maybe.
gonna be,
I mean, I don't think everybody would particularly say if I could go back 20 years, I'd be a YouTuber, which I genuinely would be. I'm an electrician. I would have dropped being an electrician tomorrow if I thought I could have been and that sounds weird, but genuinely knowing how much money you can make on YouTube.
I think you're an exception to rule, though.
Or not just
What we're
YouTube.
talking, you're incredibly talented. You've got
Yeah.
vision, and what talents you have, not everybody's got. What I'm saying
well,
is,
yeah,
there are
that's right.
kids all over the planet that have, they've seen stuff online, and I'm gonna be with no substance.
Yeah.
No substance. And I suppose it's the same going back to like to X Factor. You've got kids queuing up wanting to be on X Factor. They couldn't even sing in key. They couldn't. They were
Yeah.
tone deaf.
You see,
they were disillusioned.
You see,
and somebody's setting them up for that. They're never going to make it.
yeah.
They're going to be a laughing stock. I'm not saying, if you fail as an influencer, you're going to become a laughing stock, because you're not put onto national television. You just won't get any views. But what I'm saying is, great, chase something, but there has to be substance. That child has to be educated.
I can I just jump in there. See, I have a real problem with all this following your dream stuff because
Now you are on your own.
what's so funny?
You, Mr. Walt Disney, don't follow your dreams.
What's so funny about this?
Probably people following the dreams and shit. Get down, coal mine. Go on, Mark, carry on.
Was that funny?
Yes.
But carry on.
What I mean by that is that, listen, I know when I just said that, but there's context to this. It's this parents when they said to the kids, follow your dream. Now, I'm all for that, and we should all encourage that. But and I think where the problem lies is what you've got as a parent. There is a point where if your kid is saying A, B, or C or whatever, a bit similar to what Mark's saying, whatever. If you've no talent, you can't sing, then don't just carry on, your dream. Because this is the warrant rabbit hole that we're going down as a society. I think we're encouraging people to follow things when we need a reality check and go, no, you can't do this or you can't do that.
So can I ask you a question then, Mark? You're a parent.
Well, yeah.
Sorry, but I just want to ask a question
Go on.
just based on that. So if your child came to you, at a young enough age, and said they wanted to be a singer, but they couldn't sing, so is your response to tell them that they can't sing, so forget about it and get a proper job? Or is it your job as a parent to try and encourage them to have singing lessons to be able to follow the dream?
Well, that's a bit of a black.
You can't fix tone deaf. You can't fix it.
Well, first of all, I'm going to say that's a black and white question, which is difficult to answer because each circumstances is different. So I ain't got enough substance to go on with that, and I'm sort of falling into Mark's camp a little bit. Some people can't sing. I can't sing. Yeah, I could be trained to be sing, but then how much money to be a singer? But how much money are you going to throw at this?
I think I see the point you're making in that.
Can I just let me just finish off my point? And going back to Mark with all this, X Factor stuff, and Big Brother stuff, and reality shows where people follow the dream. Oh, I want to be on TV. I want to be this. I want to be that. And then we look over recent years how they've been treated, how these shows treat people. And there's been dark sides to these reality shows where they follow the dream and then society almost just drops them. And they're not famous anymore, and they can't cope with that. So there's darker sides to all this follow your dream stuff.
I would say which is a bit more. I would say the right way is to give the child enough experience to realise themselves that they aren't good enough.
That's the thing.
That's
the thing. And the problem is and I'm not old hat at all. I perhaps think a little bit more mature than well, obviously I do because I am a bit more mature, but I'm not closed off to kids chasing the arts, the creatives. What I am opposed to is this. It's an ignorance where parents they give the kids a phone, 4 or 5 year old.
Yeah.
They get locked in the bedroom, and then that's all they do. They spend all their time away from when they're not at school or they're not doing something where you're taking them somewhere. They're in the rooms, and what is it becoming? What is it becoming? We're not talking about kids that are saying, right, I want to be a photographer, I want to play guitar, I want to play piano, I want to be a videographer, and they say, right, for Christmas, can you get me this camera because I want to do this? We're talking about kids that just sat in front of a mobile phone, just recording themselves doing the same thing that the next child's doing, that the next child's, and then to say, well, that's what I want to be. I'm not saying it's wrong is too strong. I think it's sad. I think in that they think that they want to exist in a way that doesn't really harness any real talent.
But I think you're judging something on your values.
And that's what we do as people.
No. There's nothing wrong with, obviously, you've got your own values,
yeah.
but that doesn't give you the right to judge others and say that something is wrong.
No.
I didn't say it was wrong.
What I'm saying, you said it was sad.
Yeah, it's sad.
I thought you meant when you said sad, it's a shame.
Yes.
Not as in they are sad.
Yeah.
Oi, sado. I thought he meant it's a shame.
Well, I want to quote something that you said the other day, but we didn't say it on here, and it was like it were utter dogger. It's their coal mining. It isn't.
Right. But it is.
It isn't.
Give us some
because
context.
Everybody was guaranteed a job in coal mine.
Right.
So it's not the same. We're talking about queuing up in the morning, like Mark with his Amazon thing, in the hope to get a slot. And then, sorry lads, that's enough for today.
But that's a little bit like being self-employed in general. You're not guaranteed the next day's wage or job.
You're not. However, it's either through, I suppose, a poor choice of career in terms of, is it swamped? Is it something that's fizzling out? Is it something that's not a strong industry? Or is it that you're just not very good at it? You won't see a good bricklayer out of work. Good bricklayers are in demand. I know there's an issue with house building at the minute, so it's probably not the right topic, but people who are talented at what they do will always be in demand. And I think that's what the point I'm trying to get across is we should be encouraging kids to use their talent rather than thinking, I'm going to do that because that's what they do.
And how can I make money from it?
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
By doing that.
I want to be a professional footballer. Right, great. And you see them rock up and they fall in love at ball every time they go to kick it. I'm sorry, they're not. You take them along to Saturday morning training and to Sunday game and whatever, and you'll encourage them to get. For a fact that it's not going to become something, but they're not going to hang everything on it, are they? Do you know what I mean?
I think it's safe to say that none of us are going to agree tonight. So I think it's fair to say that on this topic we agree to disagree.
I think me and Mark are very similar on this side, and you and Kirk on that side.
Absolutely,
that's how it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's our opinions. Our opinions aren't wrong. Your opinions aren't wrong. It's just how we feel.
I've got no qualms with it, but what I'm saying is the basis of why do you want to do it? That's what everyone else is doing. And
we can't have a world of influencers, can we? We need people to build houses and plumbers and electricians. We don't want influencers in the world.
If you want to do that, you should do that. I'm not saying that for a second because the likelihood of being successful in sport is quite slim because the level of competition of other people. But there's nothing to say that you won't get a job in that field doing something slightly different. Should that not be successful? What my concern is, if Darcy said to me, I want to be an influencer, and all she did was sit in a room just looking at her phone and just videoing herself with no real substance, I would either be trying to encourage her to do something more positive with what she was doing as an influencer, but I'd be encouraging her to do other things as well as. you know.
Sorry, can I ask you just one question?
Yeah,
Genuinely question.
Yeah.
So let's say that Darcy was doing something on TikTok or whatever it was,
Yeah.
okay, that you would consider, or let's say a lot of people would consider,
Yeah.
to be talentless. Okay, so you don't need a special skill or
Yeah,
special
yeah.
talent to do it, okay? And you said to her, you know, Darcy, what are you doing? You know, blah, blah. And she says, yeah, but Dad, look, I've just made $5,000 last week. Mm-hmm. Okay, would you still then be encouraging us to do something different if she was enjoying doing what she was doing and she was earning $5,000 a week? That's what I'm saying. It's a case of, I know that it's a crowded market, and I'm not saying everyone will make it.
Yeah.
Far from it. You know, I would say that the similar kinds of things of being an influencer, the same kind of things as being a successful sports. You know, it's very slim. But what I'm saying is that when that does tip into the realm of, yes, but I am making it work. It is earning me some money. It is creating a living for me, or whatever. Then do our values shift on a sense of, oh, well, actually, great. Or do your values still stick to a sense of, well, you shouldn't be doing that because it doesn't take any talent or skill?
No. I think completely misunderstood. You're not just going to accidentally make $5,000 last week, are you?
Well, I was watching a TikTok video the other day of a woman that's been on TikTok for the last 12 months. She normally just does random TikToks in her car, mainly actually ranting about stuff or whatever. And she did a video that she did, which says that recording the video on her phone and posting it took her about a minute and a half. It was just a 30-second rant on her phone, and she woke up the next day to 750,000 views. Then it went up to 1.2 million. Then it went up to 3.6 million views because it went viral. And she'd earned $3,000 in 3 days from that one video. So yeah, by the way, I'm not going to sit here and say that happens to everybody and stuff like that. But is it possible for that to happen? Of course it is. Yeah.
So shall we agree to disagree?
It's more general than that. If you're talented in something, or if you fall into something and it's looking like something's going to be successful, then you should harness it, regardless of what it is. What I'm saying is, I think it's sad that there are so many. It was something like a survey went out, and it was something like 56% of children under a particular age wanted to be an influencer or a YouTuber. Mm-hmm. What's the likelihood? You're incredibly talented at what you do.
Well, no, I'm not saying absolutely. I'm not saying absolutely.
Good timing.
You are, Rob. You're incredibly talented at what you do, and everyone will say, whenever you do a video, they'll be like, wow, this is brilliant. And I don't want to sound harsh when I say this, but you're not making millions. You're not making thousands.
Not making any. I'm not making anything.
Exactly. So imagine then, you put all your eggs in one basket, and, I suppose it's slightly different, like I said with you, because had you have done that 20 years ago, you've got the vision, you've got the talent, you've got the skills, you'd know what equipment you'd need, you'd be on it. It'd almost be like a business plan.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit, it's throwaway. I want to be a pop star. They sing it shower once and then they never pursue it, do they? And the kids are doing the same thing now. I want to be a YouTuber. They don't really want to be a YouTuber. They just see people on YouTube doing it.
There's blurred lines between what points we've all got.
Yeah.
That I genuinely think, when you blur some of them, there's definitely there's so many different. I don't even know. I don't even know.
I think if it's one thing that I will say that we all agree on, I do, and I am going to say this because I know it's something that we all do agree on, is that anything that you do in life, no matter what it is, if you want it to be successful, it takes work.
Absolutely.
And that's it. That's what I will 100% agree with.
And that's probably what underpins what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think the only way we're going to get off this, Rob, is if we change subject. So have you got anything to change subject to?
Well, I was just about to say, before Sally rings the bell, we have got another email.
Oh my God.
Has it just come in?
Literally.
Is it about car parking?
It's not.
We're back to car parking.
It's a really
influencing?
short one, so let's just get this wrapped up before that bell rings.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
It's from Rachel, and it says, I've got a question you boys might be able to shed some light on. Why does Easter move, but Christmas never does? Love the podcast, by the way.
Good question.
Well, it's very apt, isn't it, given that it's Easter weekend?
Oh,
yeah.
Good Friday. Happy Good Friday.
Yeah.
In fact, actually, it's Gemma's birthday today. Happy birthday, Gemma.
Happy birthday, Gemma.
And it's Helen's.
It's Helen's.
Today?
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Ellen and Gemma.
We won't sing happy birthday. So what'd she say? Why is...
Why does Easter move, but Christmas never does?
Oh,
don't
yeah,
think-
because it's on different dates. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever noticed that though.
That just goes to show you what
That's
religion
weird.
is, doesn't it?
Does
I mean, you
anybody
can't
know
even-
the real reason? I don't.
But they can't make their minds up. That's why. You know what religion's like?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I know the reason, but
Do you?
yeah,
It's got something to do with the calendars, hasn't it? There's
Yes,
different
that's right.
calendars in place.
that's right.
You got the Gregorian calendar and another one.
Well, it's
Do
to do-
we,
it's-
so we use a different.
Although, use one calendar for Christmas and a different calendar for Easter.
Well, I was just about to say, do we use different calendars every year? I don't think we do.
it's to do with solar calendar and lunar calendar. So so the Easter is to do with lunar calendar and the Jewish calendar, and Christmas is fixed to a solar calendar. So
yeah.
that is the actual answer. I know
it's
that's
still
very
weird.
geeky and very boring.
But they always put Easter eggs in on Boxing Day.
Yeah.
Ain't supermarkets. There's
Yeah.
always Easter eggs in on Boxing Day.
Time at the bar, please.
And on that note, it's been a pleasure, boys.
It's
Yeah,
it's
I've enjoyed tonight, guys. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Yeah, me too. I've enjoyed them. We haven't argued,
parks.
have we?
I won't call it
Just had
argues.
a disagreement. I'll see you next week.
Yeah, see you
Cheers,
later.
guys.
See you.
Bye, bye, bye.
Bye.
Do you have a dilemma? Maybe a burning question you're longing to be answered? Or you just want to get in touch with us? Why not drop us a voice note or a message over email at innthechat@gmail.com. That's 2 N's, not 1 N, because 1 N, it doesn't matter. Innthechat@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from you.